So let's take a look at their weaknesses as well. One of the weaknesses of the Chaos Space Marines, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be playing a bit of the devil's advocate with this, because I'm a Chaos player myself. The weakness of the Chaos Space Marines is they don't have a lot of weapon choice. They have the basic bolter, plasma gun, autocannon, melting gun, and flamer, yeah, but the Space Marines that we all know and love and can't stand whenever they shoot at us is they have the assault cannon, and I've gotten hit by that many times. And they also have more advanced versions, the plasma cannon. The plasma cannon can be used by the Chaos Space Marines, but it's only the Dreadnoughts and the Obliterators. Normal Havocs can't use a plasma cannon for whatever reason. Also, Space Marines have access to an orbital bombardment, the whirlwind missile launchers, all the good stuff like that. We don't have access to that as Chaos players. So that's one way to overwhelm us, is to outgun us, is to get weapons that we don't have any preparation for. And grenade launchers. I've seen Terminators rip through entire squadrons or entire units of Bloodletters with grenade launchers, and then just mow down the rest in assault cannons. So that's one of the weaknesses that we have, is we don't have a wide weapon selection. Another thing that we have a serious problem with is we don't have a whole lot of named HQ, and even then, the named HQ that we have don't benefit anybody but themselves. The named HQ are, yeah, they're a little selfish, but they're incredibly overpowered, but none of them have any abilities that help anybody else. Like, for instance, for the Space Marines, Vulcan Heston. Vulcan Heston, if he's included in the army, alive or dead, Vulcan Heston can make everybody's flamers and melty guns and thunderhammers master crafted. You're going to be a jerk in close combat, and in assaults and tank killing, you're going to be messing people up. So we don't have a lot of independent characters that help us with anything. So if you see Huron Blackheart, or Ahriman, or, God forbid, Karn the Betrayer, just keep in mind, they only benefit themselves. Nobody else is going to benefit from any of their abilities. Karn the Betrayer is the only guy that I know about in Warhammer 40k, and correct me if I'm wrong, that hits on a 2+ in close combat. And he rolls 2d6 for armor penetration without using a chain fist. He's got that Gore Child, which has 3 spans of chain teeth that we all know, and it's mean. And not to mention, Karn the Betrayer has 6 attacks, 7 on the charge. But that's the thing, he's still able to be killed outright. Not only that, but he's also only benefiting himself with anything he's got. Cato Sicarius, I think, allows for the re-rolling a Seize Initiative, so he's helping everybody get a first turn. Karn the Betrayer, Ahriman, even Typhus, none of them benefit anybody else but themselves. I guess you can say they're selfish. And another weakness of the Chaos Space Marines, and this is a really, really, really big one, is we don't have a wide basic HQ choice. We don't have a lot of named characters that help anybody else, and our HQ choices are rather limited. Our Chaos Lords are incredibly versatile, but they're really, really limited. We only can use 2 HQ choices, and we can't use multiples of the same one, really. We can use 2 Chaos Lords, yeah, that makes your army favoring close combat. We can't use 2 Sorcerers, because that would make your army favoring ranged capabilities. 2 Demon Princes soaks up a lot of points. And don't get me wrong, I love using a Demon Prince, and I love the abilities that they can get, and the fact that they're immune to instant death and monstrous creatures. But really, if you double up on that, it's going to cause problems. And the abilities that we have are rather point costly. Chaos Lord in and of himself is 90 points without any special upgrades. So keep that in mind, that we don't have a wide weapon selection, we don't have any beneficial capabilities at all towards each other, and we also don't have a wide HQ selection. None of our HQs benefit each other, and our HQs are rather limited, and our weapon selection is also rather limited. Yeah, our close combat ability is pretty nasty, but in terms of range and in terms of camaraderie, we really can't help anybody out that much. So if you want to beat us Chaos Space Marines, just target on those weaknesses. Target on the ability that we don't have a wide weapon selection and expect basic weaponry. Most Chaos Space Marine players will not include a whole lot of special weaponry in their army. We don't have that much weapon selection. And also, under the weapon selection category I have for the weaknesses of the Chaos Space Marines, this also goes for their tanks. Tanks are weapons, and they don't have a lot of selection for that either. As Chaos Space Marines, we don't get a lot of the Dreadnoughts. As Chaos Space Marines, we only get 1 Dreadnought. We also only get 1 Land Raider, 1 Predator, and we get a Vindicator and a Rhino. We don't get Land Raider Redeemers or anything like that, so we don't have those weapons available at our command. We don't have the capabilities that those have. And also, if we are such nasty monsters at close combat, why don't we have Thunderhammers? We don't have Thunderhammers. We're not. Yeah, we're technically Imperial, but we're Chaos, so we don't have Thunderhammers. So we're not going to send you reeling. We're not going to stop you from getting your attack first in the next turn if you survive the Power Fist. So keep that in mind. We don't have as a lot of weapon selections as the Space Marines that you might be used to fighting. We're a lot different. We may have a better leadership, but we don't have the better weapons they got. So let's look at the strengths one more time with the Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines are better at close combat than Space Marines are. We have a wider selection of psychic powers that are more devastating and are more beneficial to the wielder. And last but not least, we can summon in demons which can assault the turn they come in. Our weaknesses, our weapon selection, this is including tanks, isn't that wide. Our HQ selection doesn't benefit anybody, unlike most other sources. And not to mention our basic HQs are very limited. We've only got 3 available to us, really, except the, of course, the named characters like Abaddon and Karn. But we don't have a wide basic HQ selection, so the versatility and the amount of people we can field is very low. Thanks again for watching the Know Your Foe of Chaos Space Marines. I know I was playing the Devil's Advocate with this one. I can't say that enough. Hope this helps you guys with your fights against the Chaos players, and post your comments and responses.